For tuning into this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I hope that you all are having a fantastic day. Listen, today we have Sister Naira on with us. How are you today, Sister Naira?
I am absolutely amazing and wonderful. Thank you so very much for having me here. I am blessed and highly favored.
Blessed and highly favored, we both are. I'm equally blessed and highly favored because you've graced this platform with your presence, and I'm excited. I see already that you got your boo working in the background. I just a shout out to the mister back there that has been blessing you in the background.
Yes.
I'm excited about that, to hear the teamwork and the synergy that you all have. And we'll talk about your husband on throughout our discussion today. Listen, everybody, grab your virtual seats. Today, we're going to be talking about something that we all need to know: how to heal, right?
Yes.
How to heal. It's one thing for us to talk about it, but with mental health issues on the rise, and so many people are struggling. And we know just by way of news that Naomi Judd had passed away due to suicide, according to the public articles and things that's been released. And I pray for her family. I pray for everyone involved in her life, because at the end of the day, we don't know what people are dealing with. Right, Sister Naira?
I am totally 100% with you. You know, the stresses of this world, the environment, right, is conducive to facilitate us having mental stress and trauma. And I really like to add this too, drama, right?
Yeah,
and
stress, trauma, and drama.
And drama. So yes, so a lot of us we're going through the pressures of the world right now.
Yes.
You know. So yes, absolutely.
And we don't, again, we only see the exterior, what everyone presents to the public. And at the end of the day, the behind the scenes, we don't always get privy to. So we don't know what people are dealing with. So at the end of the day, we should all just be praying for everyone's strength, praying for everyone's encouragement, that God would allow them to be able to make it through this journey that we call life without giving up. So listen, I know today's topic, get your seatbelt on. It may be some roller coaster rides going on, but we want you to tell us where you're visiting in from. And also make sure that I see you, Lasunya. It's a pleasure to have you on. Go ahead and share the broadcast and tag your friends and family as well. When we come back, what I'm going to do is a formal introduction of Sister Naira, and then we're going to go ahead and just deep dive. We don't have any scripted questions, so we're just going to take it from here and have a great time. Today's episode is sponsored by Silver Shield Security. If you haven't used them for your home security system, take a look, silvershield-security.com.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
Right, everyone, and we are back. We're talking with Sister Naira Tivika Muhammad. She is an inspired visionary. She's the founder of Repair of the Black Family Incorporated. She's a dynamic speaker, spiritual advisor, financial literacy specialist, transformational life coach, and an active member and captain emeritus of the Nation of Islam. She inspires and she motivates those that she serves to experience total transformation through the example of her purpose-driven life. So she's leading by example. And she has many goals that we'll talk about throughout today's discussion. But her mission in life is to help restore the Black family, the family customs, the family beliefs, while working to help bring a universal government where we all can live in peace, regardless of our class, race, creed, color, any of it, just all of it.
That's right.
Welcome, Sister Nayira, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you. Thank you. What an honor, what a blessing, to be able to just be on a program that facilitates real, relevant, and relatable.
Yes,
Right?
I'm excited about that.
Yes, we got to get to the realness of things. And it's so key in this day and time that we are relevant to the time that we're in and the people that God has called us to serve. And constantly, we must find ourselves being relatable, which means we got to know what's going on in the world today, right? Matter of fact, we have to know what's going on with ourselves and with our families to be able to usher in that peace, usher in what we know as the kingdom of God. And that's a day-by-day process. So again, I'm here, I'm happy to be here with you, to be a part of your process as it relates to you serving humanity.
It's my honor to serve humanity. And I see you, Janelle, like, girl, wait a minute, everybody. I just got in my seat. I am here. So you're like, don't play. Don't forget that I'm in the studio audience. Thank you for being here today. Listen, I want us to just talk about your growing up and where you, one of the questions that had already come in before from backstage was, were you even born into the Muslim faith? So talk to us about your backstory.
Absolutely. So I was born in the city of St. Petersburg, Florida. I am the eldest of 5 children. My mother, Ernestine, and my father, the late Lee Henry Green. And growing up in the city of St. Petersburg to young adult parents, right? My mother met my dad when she was 14 years old. By the time I was 17, by the time she was 17, I came into existence. Right.
Wow. So teen parents.
And matter of fact, this is okay. I'm gonna kind of slow down because I got a lot to say on that point alone.
Take your time, babe. We got a whole hour.
The power of story is so important that we got to get to know our mother's and father's story. I just recently, Sister Kim, I'm talking about less than 2 months ago, truly learned my mother's story as she was able and was ready to open up and let me in. And I found out through writing my book that my mother met my dad when she was 14, and it was for her love at first sight. She seen him walking across the street and she was like, I'm going to have that man, right? And so just the power of that. And all of my life, Sister Kim, and I'm going to get to my story. All of my life, I thought I was a oops, I'm sorry, baby, because they was young. 17, right? 17 when she had me. But no, I found out just recently I was intentionally made. And that shifted my whole perspective on life to find out that I was truly, even as young parents, my parents' love child. So that shifted how I view myself, how I show up in the world. But bringing it back to my story, being the eldest of 5 children, 6, excuse me, because I lost my brother when I was 4. That's a whole nother story. But being the eldest out of 6 children, being born to young parents who didn't really have guidance in their lives, right? Wow. My father was known in the city of St. Petersburg as a track star. So he had he got hurt at a very young age. Okay, which left him to broken dreams, brokenness. Okay, right. And as a result, he went from one day hoping that he was going to be Carl Lewis, because he always said that was my spot, to drugs, alcohol, being on crack, eventually leading up to prison. and passing away in jail. Still my father, still my hero. But that's his story. That's his condition.
Wait. You said the story real quick. What in the world?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
back.
so I'm still trying to catch it. Let me go back.
No, because
so
this is some deep stuff to process. What you're saying is that you were born St. Petersburg, Florida. You know, 6 children. It was 6 of you all. One transitioned home. That alone can shape part of your story because you had a sibling that passed away. How old was your sibling that passed away?
So at the time I was 4, and at the time he was 18 months. And we were crossing the street, and he got hit by a car.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. That's in my book. That story is actually in the book.
Oh my God. But see, the people right now, they're gonna get the book, but they don't have it yet. So I want you to take some time throughout today's discussion, even if it's already mentioned in Repair of the Black Family Anthology. We're going to talk about that book heavily here on today's episode. But in her book, she talks about her 18-month-old sibling that transitioned from this earth at an early age. She was only 4. How did that shape a lot of the rest of your life, just knowing that one of your siblings passed away?
Absolutely. So one of the things is I blamed myself all of my life until recently, maybe about 10 years ago, I was able to shift the perspective on that.
Because you and him, you and your boy or girl?
It was a boy.
And you and him were together walking across the street?
Yes. And I actually at that age, and this is where I go into the story because I recall it very well. At that time, I invited him and us to go across the street to get frozen cups, a flip. And he didn't make it back across the street. Yeah. So in my life, I processed everything out of shame, guilt. I'm very afraid to make decisions, right? Because I never wanted to make a decision that I felt was grave mistakes, right? So became very protective over my children, myself, my belongings. So it just shaped me in so many ways as a result of that. And also understanding I have been grieving since I was 4 years old and not realizing that I was grieving in a perpetual grieving state of existence. Because remember, at 4, that was my best friend.
Wow.
That was my best friend. So throughout time and throughout life circumstances, throughout situations, I've come to the understanding and the realization of how that shaped my life and how I lived my life, from what state I lived my life from. As that was the first pivotal points. I say I have 4 pivotal points in my life that completely changed my life. But God, Sister Kim, let me say this part right here, because I tell my story from a healed space, right? But God, everything had to happen in order for me to stand before you now, or sit before this audience and say, we have to repair the Black family.
Wow. Okay.
We have to heal on purpose.
Wow.
Everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that God is in control. He allows things to happen, and he causes things to happen to give us an opportunity to recognize his divine hand, his divine order in everything.
So that was pivot number one pivotal moment number 1. And I do recommend that you take the blur thing off of the background because it's blurring you out, actually.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want you to be blurred out.
Help me with that.
It's okay. What we'll do is we will take let me go ahead and
no. Okay, there we go. I think okay.
Oh yeah, I said because you blurred out. I'm like, I thought it was because I had my glasses on, so I took my glasses off. I was like, I need to know what's happening over here. But I'm not a person that just play games. So I'm like, let me just go ahead and tell you, get that blur off.
Yes.
Listen, I want to know. Yeah, wow. When I think about that, your 18-month-old sibling and how that impacted you, the rest of your siblings, your parents, your young parents, it was just a traumatic time in your family. I know that.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
how all of you all just gathered together to and rally together to get to the other side of having to grieve the loss of their child and your sibling. I thank you for sharing your story with us. And I'm grateful that God has healed you from the feeling responsible for that because
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
you
And Sister
weren't
Kim,
responsible.
that actually brings me to the time that we're in now, right? Because going back then, like this is the 70s, okay?
Right.
My parents didn't go through grief counseling, right? There was none of that. And as a result of that, there was actually family trauma and drama that came out of that, right?
Right.
So here
Right.
it is, me as a 4-year old, I'm looking at the trauma and the drama that came with the loss of a child, not understanding it then, but I understand it now, and why it's so important for us to understand how to cope and how to deal with grief as a family unit. Because
That's important.
while all of that was going on, guess what, Sister Kim? I was lost in the process.
Because everybody was focusing. So what advice, because I think you'll have some great advice. And I know in our house, literally we had my child pass away and I had to really think about when I was crying and snotting on the floor and I'm like, I got it. This is too much for me type of thing. I was overwhelmed. But then I had to think and almost like slap myself back into reality that Kim, you still have 4 more children that need you on this earth. But I could not, it's a process. It's a whole thing to be able to get back to that realization because you don't want to be around anymore whenever you feel like you're hopeless or helpless with the fact that somebody that is depending on you, you couldn't help them through that situation. You know what I'm saying? So you
Exactly.
gotta hang your hope and your on something. So me, I hung my hope in my life and my faith and my strength on my Savior. I was like, Lord, I need help. I need help. What advice would you give to parents in that situation that are still
Def-
have other kids, but this one
yep.
passed away?
Definitely you need, of course you got to have your faith. I've never lost a child, but I witnessed my mother go through the process of that,
Right.
right? Definitely you got to have that faith, but you, in addition to your faith, you got to have that one person, and I don't care who that person is, that you can literally daily be able to process your feelings but let your heart go.
Wow.
Because you have that person that you can talk to, that you can communicate to somebody. You got to be able to process and talk to somebody, because, and not somebody who's willing to talk back, but somebody that's willing to listen.
Right,
Right?
right.
You understand? Because oftentimes when we're going through grief, people gonna tell you it's all right, it's gonna be okay. That's true, but in this moment, it hurts. And allow me to say it hurts. And
Yes.
understand. See, I told people, go to that person that, or and be available. Not that always the person going to, but we have to know how to show up and be available for people to say, you know what, I understand.
That's right. That's
I
good.
understand. Yes.
That's really good. That's great advice because we don't always think of it from that perspective. So I'm really grateful. Listen, we're going to take a commercial break. I see you also in the studio audience, and that's Angela Muhammad said, "Yes, ma'am, willing to listen." And I also see some other comments coming in. Somebody said, Anissa said, I'm here. And David Muhammad, it says, that's right. We need to heal. Lots of comments are pouring in. Make sure you all share this broadcast and invite people to be a part of this discussion. I see you, Kate. Faith, talk out your sufferings and grief. It is so important and validating. I have lost a child. And yes, Kate, and that's not a club any of us want to be in. But even though technically we know where our children are, I believe that my child is in heaven. So I am okay with knowing that I'm going to reunite with him again one day. And so, Sister Kate, I pray for you and your strength as well. All right. So listen, we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, talk to us about, You said there were 4 things that really helped you pivot in life. What are
Yes,
some of those 4 things when we come back? Okay?
absolutely. Uh-huh.
We'll be
Yep.
right back, everyone,
Okay.
right after this break.
All right.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Right, everyone. We are back and we're talking with Sister Nayira. She's pouring her heart out to us today to help us learn how we can heal. Regardless of whether we think we need to or not, if you've been broken in different areas of your life, it requires some level of time to heal. Talk to us about some more pivots.
Yes. So another pivotal point, and these stories are heavy. However, I say this again, I'm telling my story from a healed place. You know,
Yes.
as a being born to young parents and, having to go through the transition of growing up with them, trying to make it the best way they know how. My mother and father was hustlers, right? They did the best that they could do. They was out, they gambled, they lived the street life. And we found ourselves at people's homes, different parts, of our upbringing. And as a result of that, I was molested from the age of about 7 until the age about 13 about, this one person, which was a family member, a cousin, right? And eventually it ended up into a rape. And from that, because I didn't say anything until I was 13. And again, that's a whole process, right? But from that, in that life, I ended up living my life as a victim. I lived my life as a person that, I had self-sabotaging behaviors as a result of that, right?
Mhm.
And that was a pivotal point in my life, you
Well,
know.
before you go on to another pivotal point, how was that situation handled? Because you have been exposed to this family member. Clearly, your mom and dad did not know that this person was doing this to you because they wouldn't have kept exposing you to the person.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
how did it come to pass that this person got identified as a molester or a person that was raping you?
hmm So when I was 13, I was left at home alone with my brothers and sisters, and someone broke into the house and raped me. And because I was very familiar with him, because I grew up, with this touch, this feel from this person. So I knew him. And as the act was taking place, he had something over his face, but he looked up at the TV and I was able to clearly see his face along with I knew him. And at that point, thank God, I was, he threatened me. I had never been threatened to be killed before. Um, Never. And so when my parents came home, I think that was just God's way of letting the cat out the bag, like something that way. See, I always see that. I learned how to go back and see where God was present.
Right.
Because for a very long time, I didn't think that God was in my life. Like, why did this happen to me? Why? You understand? I had
Right.
always lived my life in the big why, right? But now that I've matured in Christ, I'm matured in the word, I'm matured in life, and I understand why he allowed me to go through it. Because my life is a living testimony. One thing I've come to learn, Sister Kim, and I'm gonna go back to your question, is people don't only care about how much you know, but how much you care. And you got to go through some things. Let's say, but God, this happened to me because he knew that I can carry the pain, because one day there's going to be another woman that went through this and she don't know how to come through it. But because of your love, because of your pain, because of what you've gone through, and because you have solely given your heart to me, and you could turn around and say, look what he done for me. But look at me now. I allowed you to go through it. So when that happened, I turned around and I told my parents, And he went to jail. I mean, it was a whole here we go. This is my love and my passion, Sister Kim. This is why I love the repair of the Black family, because my family went through chaos behind that. Second trauma in the family. Here it is. I'm used again in the trauma of the family.
So at 4 years old, now at 13 years old, even though not your fault, but here you're in the
Here it
center of it,
is.
technically speaking, right?
Exactly. On both sides of the family. The vessel. That's what I like to say. I was the vessel, right? Pivotal point in my life.
But he went to jail.
He went to jail. And the listen, here it is. The 3 people that believed me, thank God, was his mother. May God be pleased with her because she's gone, my Auntie Lloyd, my daddy, and my mother.
Everybody else thought it was something that wasn't true.
Imagine that. Imagine people calling me fast. Imagine people charging me with the crime. But see, the importance of a mother and a father being there to say, no matter what, baby, I believe you, comforted my spirit. My auntie comforted. My auntie was the one that called the police on him, his own mother.
Wow, okay.
But God,
This is-
God, look at me now.
But God, I'm just typing what you're saying because I want to make sure we capture what you're saying here. And this is wow. Sister Nayira is sharing her story, and she said that she was raped by a relative, but God came through because her mom, her dad, and her aunt believed her story. And you know, one thing that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said is we must accept finite disappointment.
Yes.
But we must never lose hope, infinite hope. Hope has to be something we hold on to for the rest of our lives. We can't lose hope no matter how traumatic, no matter how difficult the circumstances are, the situations. We cannot give up hope. So I'm so grateful that you kept hope alive, as Jesse Jackson always says. Keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive. But here's one of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou says this: you got to have courage. Courage. In order to practice the other virtues, you got to have courage. One thing through my life circumstances that I believe that God has anointed me with through trials, through errors, through disappointments, through my own shortcomings, he's blessed me with courage. And because I'm blessed with courage, I can show others how to live a courageous life, not by what I say, but what I do, by my example as an overcomer. That's right. You understand? Shifting. Listen now, because we all done been there. I'm talking about healing on purpose. Shifting from victim to victoriousness. Most times, Sister Kim, when we see women talk about molestation and rape, they're swarmed in the pain. They're swarmed. They're crying because why? Right. If they're still in the moment of that.
That's right.
But God has showed me through time, through healing, through counseling, through the things through Islam, the Nation of Islam, right? He showed me how to come through that and stand up as a witness bearer. That through all his glory, I can redeem you if you turn. I had to turn from the things that was keeping me stuck in the pain that God allowed to happen or he caused it. That's it. Who's the originator of the pain? And that's where it takes, and I love Minister Farrakhan because it takes us having the ability, and we have to arrive to this, rise above emotions into the thinking of God.
Go ahead. So I know you're saying Sister Nayira over there, and we'll talk about what sister means in the Nation of Islam. But you preaching over there. I don't know if you're allowed to say that. And I don't want
I'm a preacher. Minister Farrakhan has already said Girl, you were born to be a preacher.
Okay. I want to make sure I don't say nothing that's
Absolutely.
inappropriate, but
But we'll come to understand the universality in serving Christ,
yes.
right? It's a way of life.
Yes.
It's a way of life, but language have divided us and conquered us, right? But we're all one in the body of Christ. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches his followers to be a good Christian is to be a good Muslim, and to be a good Muslim is to be a good Christian.
I think you froze over there, but that's you. Everything you're saying we can hear, except for just right this second it froze for some reason. But what I'm gonna do is remove you from the screen until the freezing comes back up, and let me go. I'm gonna do this. All right, come back in. So listen, everybody, we're going to continue talking with Sister Nayira. She's dropping some significant gems and knowledge and wisdom tips with us today. What we're going to do is take a quick commercial break, but I want to do this differently this time because today's episode is sponsored by also Lindio of Charlotte. It's the Central Lindio of Charlotte location, and their webinar is coming up on May 10th. I want to make sure that you all know that he's teaching you about how not to just go and borrow from the bank, but how to be the bank. And so I'm going to share this screen so that you'll get a chance to see. Wait a minute. I want to make sure y'all don't miss this because this is some good information that this particular sponsor is going to be sharing with us. So let me go over here. Can you all see? Let me see if you can see that. I'm going to add that in. And Sister Nayira, I'll bring you right back in as well. Let me pull you back on the screen because you're not frozen anymore. There you go. All right. And so here, if you all can see this, the sponsor today is Lindio Charlotte, and they're teaching us how to be the bank. So let's go ahead and learn what he has to share now. The one and only business funding master course webinar. You're going to learn the secrets of banking, what the banks don't want you to know, and how to obtain funding for your business. And here is going to be the information that he's going to share with us.
Hey, this is the funded CEO, man. Hey, just coming out of one of these banks. I want to let you guys know, man. May the 10th, I'm going to introduce to you how close you are to being the bank. You got to tap in, guys. This is the funding CEO, man. Hey, look, the first fintech banking owner here in North Carolina, South Carolina area. You got to be there, guys. Listen, man, I'm going to be dropping so much information, secret sauce on all underwriting criteria. What the banks have been holding back from you guys for years, not telling you. I'm going to drop it in this webinar, guys, because I want you guys to go out here and be able to have some healthy businesses, okay? You can be able to walk into banks or walk in any type of situation when it comes to funding for your small businesses. I'm so pumped, man. This is my way of giving back, man. $20 million with small businesses over the last few years. And I'm going to drop it all in this webinar, guys. Just pay attention, man. Hey, May the 10th, man, 6:30. Be there, all right? Don't play small, man. If you're going to think, like I always tell you, think big. Peace, funding CEO.
All right, so the final information is right there, screenshotted, Tuesday, May 10th. All right. So I'm excited about that. I know that I'll be in attendance as well. And I hope that you all will also. They sponsored today's episode. And I'm excited about what they have to share because there was an event that he just recently had. There were about 30,000 people in attendance. So He knows what he's talking about. He's one of the, when you talk about repair the Black family, we need to definitely know how to get some funding, but all families, regardless of your race and nationality, none of that, just go get the information. Okay. So listen, Sister Nayira, I wanted to go to some of the studio audience comments because you might be able to answer some of the things that they have pouring in here, and I don't want to deprive them of this opportunity. Angela says, yes, I'm willing to listen. Yes, same here was something that you said. Kate said, faith, talk out your suffering and grief so that So important and validating because she had lost a child as well. And we talked about that. Kate also said, our children keep us motivated to live with purpose, and with purpose, I'm at peace. I've given back and I'm a servant of God to help others on their journey as well. Let's see. I've also lost a child and I'm still dealing with the loss, is what Christine said. A lot of people have had children transition, so your story really touched them. And let's go down to a couple of other comments. Okay. Victor, not a victim. Thank you so much, Mackenzie backstage. Kate says she's a victor, not a victim. You are a victor, not a victim. Excellent. Any other comments that you're popping on? Keep them flowing. Let's see. Good day, everyone. Blessings. Dr. Nepatina Serrano. Stop right there for 1 second, Mackenzie. Let me pop this up. For those that would like to know who Dr. Nepatina Serrano is, you're going to be able to meet her tomorrow, because her and her husband, Dr. Richard Serrano, will be graduating from our Kim Jacobs Consulting course, which they took How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch. So they have a powerful show that's coming out really soon, and you do not want to miss their graduation tomorrow. It's going to be off the chain. They offer marriage repair and rescue services for marriages that are struggling. So you don't want to miss the marriage CEOs as they graduate right here on the Kim Jacobs Show tomorrow. Okay, keep the comments flowing. Keep the comments flowing. Come on, sis. Janelle says, okay. Allah God will use us to glorify him, Angela Muhammad said. All right. My mom said when you lose a grandchild, it's very, very hard. She's talking from your mom and dad's perspective. Hard to grieve, especially when your daughter and family need you to be there to listen and to be strong for them. But it's a hard situation to deal with. Oh, my Lord. But God, but God. My mom uprooted and came and lived with us for a few years to help us transition through the loss of our son. David said, rise above emotions into the thinking of God. Yes, ma'am, the truth. All right, we're going to stop there with the comments. And I want to go back to Sister Nayira. You told us 2 pivotal points. You want to tell us the third one?
Yes, absolutely. So the third pivotal point for me was when I got a divorce, my first marriage. And I was pregnant. I had 3 children. I had 2, and I was pregnant with 1. And I married my first husband was my high school sweetheart.
Okay.
So we had been together for 11 years, and to process that and learn, because I went straight from my mother's house into a marriage. So I had never been alone, right? Per se, living alone. So I had to learn how to live life as a mother, a single mother, a divorcee, right? Truth be told, this brother, he took care of me since I was like 16 years old. My mom allowed him to move into the house, when I got pregnant. Yep. We didn't sleep in the same room. It was strange because we was like brothers and sisters, to be honest, and he lived in our home, but he shared a room with my brothers.
Okay.
However, he helped take care of our family.
Wow.
Right. And yeah. And so going from that situation, from, my mother, her being a single mom, her having limited income, to this brother, we met in high school. We worked at the same job, him pretty much helping my mom take care of her children, right? Including me, to moving out, being solely dependent upon him. Yes, I work, but he took care of everything for me, right? And leaving out of that situation and learning how to be single, learning how to be a single mom, learning how to be a divorcee, because it was baby mama dramas, and with him getting with somebody else, trying to learn how to cope with all of this and not really knowing myself, right? I didn't know who Sister Nayira was. I didn't know that. So again, that was a pivotal point in my life, and I had to grow up. Like, I feel like I was always grown up because of my life and how I had to take care of my sisters. I had a lot of responsibilities put on me at a very young age, but I had to grow up as an adult.
Wow.
Right? I had to get a job, a real job. I was working at home shopping. I had to learn how to pay my own bills. Okay. And I had to just be willing to shift. That's the
That's
word that I
good.
know now. Okay. And so at that point, that was the pivotal point. That transitioning into that is where I knew I couldn't make it by myself. And though I have a lot of family and a lot of support, but when I say make it by myself, I needed God very prevalent in my life.
Yes.
I needed to know how to get to know him for myself, not from going to church with my mama and my grandma and Easter, and not from all of that.
No, you didn't say Easter, Sister Nayera.
Come
Not
on now. You want me to be real, Sister Kim, because the black family, we going to church on Easter. If you don't go no other day, you going to church on Easter with your dress on and your Easter basket, right? And so not just from tradition. I needed to get to know the Father for myself. And that process was the pivotal point for me to seek God for myself.
That's good.
I always had him with me. I just didn't know how to live by his ways.
That's good. That's good.
And
Really
so
good.
that pivotal point started my search and my journey for self-discovery. Who am I?
Who are you? That's awesome. Before you tell us who you are, because I do need to hear the answer to that, what I want to know is what advice would you give other women that have been in long-term marriages and now they're finding themselves in their latter years or senior years or adult years that their stuff is not as tight and propped up as it used to be. Now they're out here on the scene, right? And you're like, huh? What's gonna? You're thinking that you're gonna be with somebody forever, until as long as you're at least on this earth together, right? But for whatever reason, like you said, he was there. He was taking care of you. He was a part of your family. You obviously, I'm sure, thought that you were going to be with him forever, right? Until death do you part, as
Death do us part.
until death do you part, and then at that point, then of course you're not going to be together. But that wasn't the case. What advice would you give women that are in that situation?
One, you gotta, what helped me is I developed an intimate and personal relationship with the Father.
Good.
Intimate, like I talk to him as my best friend. And two, now that I look back over life, celebrate yourself.
Celebrate yourself and develop an intimate relationship.
Celebrate you. Celebrate you, because as a woman, we weather the storms. We weather the storms of life. And in the process, somewhere in the process, we may tend to forget who we are. We may begin to forget our value and our worth. And I don't know if you're like me. I took the world on my shoulder. I blamed myself for everything. You understand? But when I learned how to shift the perspective and celebrate me, girl, look what you have been through. Girl, look what you have overcome. Right? Girl, look what God allowed you to go through so that you can be able to stand up and tell the world that this too shall pass. I would tell another woman, look, sis, you're hurt now, but this too shall pass.
But the only way that you can even say something like that, and I know I can personally say that to women as well, and in the book that I'm writing, I talk about that. This is just a temporary season. This is something that God already knew that you were going to be in, something that I can't talk for the rest of the world. For Kim, God knew what season I would be in my life, knowing exactly what you're saying, that my entire, from 18 years old until about 50 years old, I have never changed the tire. I have never changed the oil in my car. I have never, just a lot of nevers. Ate out with my husband and did all of these things across my lifespan, and literally was taken care of. So no, nothing negative at all that I'll ever have to say pertaining to my relationship with Frank at all, because he's done nothing but be my knight in shining armor. But in life, things happen. And when they happen, does it mean then that you now have to go public and dog each other out and be, oh, I can't put this person in my photo, I can't do that. No,
No,
the devil's a liar.
the devil is a
The
liar.
devil's a
Yes.
liar.
And we still have a very good friendship and a good co-parenting relationship. And my husband and my first husband, they have a very good relationship.
That's a
And that's in the book
thing.
too. That's in the book as well.
I am so excited to hear
Yeah.
that. That motivates me personally because
Yes.
it lets you know that as you repair the Black family, it doesn't have to be that there's such a hatred or a
No.
disdain or anything like that, but you can have some level of peace and
Yes.
synergy, especially given the children and the people that are still going to be carrying on both parents' legacy. And how that
Absolutely.
gets rolled out to society, in my opinion, matters. So
No.
I love
No.
this.
And I'll say this one last thing to anyone that may find themselves in that situation. Trials purify.
Yes.
And when God wants to use you, he will purify you. And I believe that was a part of my purification process.
Trials
again,
purify you.
yes,
Trials purify you. Make note of that.
yes,
Trials purify you. That's some
it
good stuff.
purifies you. And so with that being said, true love will find you.
How did
True
your true
love.
love find you?
Girl, over the phone. I done got remarried. And I've been married matter of fact, this month is going to make 23 years that we are married. And I can truly say we are happily married.
Okay, is this your Boaz?
Yes, that's my true love. That's my boo.
And he got you. Look how he got you. He like
David.
Look how he got you. He like, this mine. This right here, mine.
Yes. And so, yes, so that's that's my true love right there. That's what I would say.
23 years?
23 years. That's what I would say. He is my soulmate.
Oh my
soulmate.
goodness. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's who's commenting on here, right? Is that
Yes. He had to get off because it was pulling from the stream and he didn't want me to keep getting knocked off.
Oh, look at him. He even
Yes.
so sweet. But we
Yes.
respect and honor you today, Mr. Muhammad, and
Yes.
honoring your beautiful queen, Sister Nayira. And so glad that you all are in this union. Tell us about these other photos that I see here.
Yes, and he just chose. One of my daughters is not on there, so he got to update that. But that's my.
Oh, that's okay. He sent a lot of them.
Okay, so yeah, so that's all my brothers and sisters and our children. But what you see, I don't know why he focused with that's my brothers and sisters and our children.
That's a rack of folk right there. Just so you know.
That's the people. That's the people. So you see, I have five children. I have 3 girls and 2 boys.
Let's see. Did he get it over here? Is it in here?
Yes, there we go. Well, one of them is missing on that one too.
It's okay, but the point is, between both of these pictures, they're all there, right?
They're all there. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So here you have two of your
Those
daughters.
are my 2 sons. We was at a wedding, y'all. So they think they GQ. So my baby son, which is the one with the purple, that's Jabril. He's at Florida International University. He's in college. His major is business management. Then my oldest son, that's the one on the oldest one with the blue tie. He actually plays Canadian football, so he's actually getting ready to leave. And he's married with 3 children. And then the one in front of him, that's Coco. She's a nurse. She's a CNA, but she's studying to get her RNs right now as she works, and she has a son. And then the one on the side of me, that's Bernica. That's my oldest daughter. She has 3 children, and she's married, and she's also working as well. And then my baby daughter, Aaliyah, that's her in front of me right there. She is
beautiful. You have a beautiful family. Oh.
Thank you. And I have 5 children and 8 grandchildren.
Get out of here. So that's you and all of the crew, right? A lot of them.
That's me and my brothers and sisters and our children and grandchildren. That's not everybody, but that's a good amount.
Well, that is a good amount. I'm so excited to be able to feature some of your family here on the
Yes.
show today. Now, you've shared 3 things because I want to make sure that we don't get off and people be like, Kim, I know you heard her say she had 4. How you gonna end the show before she shared the 4th one? And I see all of this. People are saying power couple. That's right. She is my ever. He done found a way. He done got on
He
something.
done got back on.
He like, I'm gonna drain this internet. I gotta say something about my baby.
Yes, yes. We met over the phone. I don't know if I got an opportunity to say that, but we did meet over the phone. So
So
he
tell
was
us
in the
how. What did he
military.
do? He like, hey, baby, what? Tell us.
It wasn't even like that. To be honest, my sister, because I went through the divorce, and my sister was so adamant about me getting in the dating game. Okay, and I'm like, girl, I'm trying to learn how to be me.
I'm telling you, I ain't even gonna lie. I'll be like,
I'm trying,
oh, wait a
I'm trying to
minute
learn.
now.
I'm trying to learn how to live this life. I didn't know how to go to clubs. I didn't know how to do all of that stuff. So
I don't even want to know how to do that. Do you want to
right,
know how
she
to do it?
three-way called me in. She had a boyfriend in Virginia. So she three-way, they three-way called us in. They told him that somebody wanted to talk to him, and they told me the same. And they put us on a three-way call. And I was like, what do you want? He's like, you wanted me. And I was like, oh no, I didn't want you. So I was about to hang up the phone. But here it is, Sister Kim. This is so true. The spirit of discernment. Something within said, get off the three-way and call him back. I said, we'll call back and we'll talk for a few minutes. That's when calls was 10 cents a minute. And we stayed on the phone all night long. And from there, 23 years later, girl, he sung me one last cry, and that was it.
Wait, he sung you a song?
He sung me a song, Sister Kim.
Okay, he really a smooth operator. So y'all talk on the phone all night, and he like, okay, baby.
And he ended the song. He ended the phone call.
And what was the song?
One Last Cry by Brian McKnight.
Oh no, you know Brian McKnight. He always be going, oh. So he really went in. One last
cry. And that was supposed to be our last time talking. And after that, I was working for Home Shopping. I gave him my 1-800 number at Home Shopping. And he was calling me at work. And that's how, from that developed a relationship.
Get out of here. So, okay, from the time you talked on the phone, him singing One Last Cry, to when you got married, how long was it between that?
It was 2 years.
So y'all dated. You did have like a traditional dating situation.
Yes, 1 year. 1 year.
And
Over
then
the
from
phone.
there,
yes, flying backwards and forth. When I first went to meet him, because we had not, remember back then, we didn't have these type of phones. We mailed each other a picture, okay? We had been on the phone 3 months and we didn't know what one another looked like, okay? Yes.
This is crazy. These are all separate shows. You know that, right? Like, because that's a whole. Sister Naira, this like each of these pivotal things are their own episodes, right?
Yes.
Okay, but we cramming it into a whole hour real quick.
Yes.
This is crazy.
And so when I went to go see him, my mom was like, girl, you crazy. And I mean, everybody tried to stop me from going to see him. And again, the spirit, I follow what I believe and I know now was the voice of God. It was just an energy. It was a spirit that was moving us towards one another. And from there, I can truly say 23 years later, we're not just married, Sister Kim, and to the audience. We are happily married. Happily married. We encourage marriage. We encourage Black love, right? Because that is a staple good that is not shown often. We got to have this, right? That yes, you can be happy. Yes, you can go through the traumas and dramas, but yes, you can recover to discover love again.
Wow. I am loving this. That just absolutely love how we met. People want to hear more of your story. At some point, you got to talk about how.
That's why I got to develop my show with you. I'm gonna develop
come back.
that love story.
That love story is very amazing. Talk to us about when we come back from this commercial break, everybody, which we're going to be hearing from our episode sponsor, Get Insured Solutions. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616. They help you with if you're dealing with a loved one and you need to get insurance that stays with your family, not just that goes only into burials and things, make sure you reach out to them. They're nationwide and you can reach out to them. They're today's episode sponsor. We're going to come back and hear about the book right quick before we close out.
Yes. And my last pivotal point.
Yes.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection. With funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions. 704-499-3616.
All right, everybody, tell us pivotal point number 4.
Yes. So pivotal point number 4 in my life. First and foremost, let me preface this with I am still a daddy's girl. Still to this day. And my father went to prison in 2001 and he passed away in prison. He was only in there for 4 months. Yeah.
For how many days?
4 months.
4 months?
Yes.
And how did he pass away?
They said he had lung cancer.
Okay.
They said he had lung cancer, but that's a whole nother story. So
yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we'll just stay with the narrative.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, Sister Kim, I was able to, God bless me, to spend the last week of my father's life regularly, meaning like I was able to get a lot of visitations. Because they told us he had 6 months to live, but he really passed within 30 days.
That I don't know why. Literally, when they tell you that they're, again, I believe it's because they're practicing medicine and they're trying to tell you what they think, but there's no exact way for anybody except for God to know. So
yes.
Okay.
And so on my father's transition bed, he planted something in me that had me to stand up now to find my voice for the repairing of the Black family.
What is that?
And he said to me, he said, baby, he said, all of the men in my family's life, in my family, we could have been something in life. He said, but drugs, alcohol, jail, and all of these things robbed us of that. So if I have to lay down my life for it to stop with me, then I'm willing to lay down my life. When he said that, I believe that impregnated the mind that it got to stop. We got to stop this. We got to stop alcoholism. We got to stop crack addictions. We got to stop. My daddy was very talented. My daddy was very smart. My daddy was the light of wherever he went, he was the light. He was very funny. People loved my daddy from miles upon miles upon miles.
Yes.
But the joy of life was robbed of him at 48 years old. 48. And then God allowed me to be by his prison bed when he took his last breath.
Isn't that a gift? I think that's a gift.
Listen to this. See, this was the pivotal point. When he went to prison, our prison number 050587, I went to prison with him at 20-something years old. Okay. When he took his last breath, not only did I feel like I took my last breath, but I was rebirthed. And I fell into a deep hole. But what brought me out of that hole of death for the time that was the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. The nation of Islam helped me to bring into fruition where my daddy said it had to stop with him. It gave me hope. It gave me inspiration. But the voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave me direction. Gave me the ability to know thyself. We get into these traps because we don't know who we are. We don't know the richness of our history. We don't know our culture. We don't know our original language. We don't understand the value we have with God. And so to get the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the voice of the honorable minister Louis Farrakhan to say this very phrase that shifted my life forever: a nation can rise no higher than its woman. And when I understood, as I'm still learning to understand the value of the female, that we are the first doctors, we're the first teachers, we're the first lawyers, we're the first defenders, we're the first everything. So if you want to change the world, then we got to change the mind of the woman.
Wow. This right here is powerful what you're sharing. And I know it's resonating with so many people that are watching. Minister Louis Farrakhan says that there's really can be no peace without justice. There can be no justice without truth, and there can be no truth unless someone rises up to tell the truth. And today, according to what Sister Nayira is here doing, she's here sharing her truth. And so I am so glad that you've graced us with your presence today. And I want you to tell people how they can get a copy of your book. This is going to be a game changer for you all. So put this in your library. How can people get a copy of this?
Absolutely. So right now you could go to Amazon.com. It is a bestseller on Amazon. So you can go to Amazon, and also you can go to Shopify and get the book.
And that's The Repair of the Black Family Anthology. There are how many authors in this book?
So it's including myself, the visionary author, is a total of 33 powerful authors telling our stories with 99 suggested solutions.
Listen, 33 authors are telling how you can have the Black family repaired, even if you're not a Black family.
That's right.
You still may have Black friends and Black family friends that you can share this gift with so that the repair can begin. Black families across the world need repair. We have to have our family unit be repaired because there's so much stuff from wherever it came from way back in the day, okay, that got to be repaired. Here's the thing. Repair of the Black Family Anthology is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Shopify. 33 authors are telling you their suggestion on how to repair the Black family. One of those tips is going to help with some repairment. Okay.
Absolutely. And anyone, regardless to race, class, creed, or and color, can benefit from this anthology. It starts with us, but it's not limited to us.
Yes. And we are putting the link. Thank you, Mackenzie, who is working very hard backstage. She just popped this link up here for us. And so you don't even have to search it. Click on that Amazon link. It'll take you right there to purchase the book today. Listen, tomorrow, keep in mind that we're going to have the Serranos. They're graduating right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. We don't want you to miss that episode. And their graduation is going to be delightful. And they'll tell you a lot more of what you can expect when their show debuts. Also on Freestyle Friday, we have several of our experts, Carrie Ann Hilliard, who deals with overcoming single parent obstacles and helping adolescents speak out. Arnetta Caldwell, who helps with your visioning and your purpose. We have Phil Walters, who's a blind man who is going to be coming on to perform some of his new music. And we also have Charles Johnson, who talks about everything related to God. And Athena Robinson, our sunshine expert, and she brings some significant joy to our program. They'll be here this Friday as well. So, guys, I think that we have crammed in as much as we could in an hour. Do you feel good about this, Sister?
I feel very good. Thank you so very much. It's definitely been an honor and a pleasure to be here and to just be able to just share my story so that we can help others heal on purpose.
Well, we see all of your comments coming in, and so we'll continue to just pop them up as we prepare to get ready to close out. Don't close yet, Mackenzie. I want to say one thing because I know time I say the word close, she go boop, and I'm done. I can see her face back there. She like this. Say the word. We're done. Let me say two things if you don't mind, Mackenzie. Okay. If any of you all are interested in pouring into this program so we can continue to bring balance to the world, one household at a time, please know that these are some of the ways that you can do it. You can Cash App your support to $ Kim Jacobs Inc., PayPal through paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., or through Venmo at The Kim Jacobs Show, or even becoming a Patreon member where you monthly will get unlocked content that's not normally available to the viewing audience. Okay. And the final thing I'll tell you is if you do want to start your own show from scratch, just like our graduates that are graduating tomorrow, you can go to kimjacobsconsulting.com. And if you do decide to take the course, which is one-on-one with me, you own your own show content, then I will give you a 25% discount as well. And that's something that you would be able to just reach out to me for you to be able to get that code. Okay. All right. Sister Nayera, you have blessed us tremendously. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your wonderful story. And meet me backstage as soon as the show is over, and we'll continue our conversation for a minute.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
God bless you all. See you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Go, Mackenzie. Let it go. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.